Handball is a strenuous contact team sport that involves high-intensity short-duration activities. It therefore seems that the ability to continuously perform intermittent high-intensity actions throughout the game is crucial for handball players. When focusing on sport-specific characteristics and requirements, researchers in the field of sport performance have proven that in addition to the technical and tactical demands, fitness and handball-specific skills are important factors for successful participation at the elite handball level. The small-sided games training have acquired great success, especially in soccer, where it offers many practical advantages that have led to its popularity as a training modality. The primary benefits of small-sided games training are that the game can replicate the movement patterns, as well as the physiological demands and technical requirements of competitive match play, while also requiring players to make decisions under pressure and fatigue. For many years, traditional intermittent-type training served as a major tool by which team sport coaches developed relevant fitness variables of players. In recent years, however, coaches of team sports often use small-sided games in their training programs because of their proposed advantages in terms of specificity of movements, inclusion of decision-making, and the potential to develop multiple fitness components, all in conjunction with technical skills and tactical aspects. The present study was designed to compare the effects of these two training methods on relevant fitness variables of elite handball players. Method: 18 male elite handball players, members of a top team of the National Israeli League, volunteered to participate in the study. All players had at least 5 years of competitive experience at the national or the international level. The players trained 5 days per week and competed during the weekend. The study was conducted during the first part of the handball in-season period, October-November. Overall, the study lasted 10 weeks and consisted of 1 week of pre-testing, 8 weeks of specific training, and 1 week of post-testing. Participants were randomly assigned to one of the two training groups, HIIT and small-sided games. Each of these training protocols was performed twice a week. To isolate the effect of the two training protocols, the additional fitness training sessions during the 8 weeks of training were identical for both groups. Pre-training and post-training aerobic and strength fitness characteristics were evaluated because they replicate the activity patterns and the requirements of the game of handball. All testing and training sessions were performed at the same time of the day and in a similar ambient temperature. Training protocols. Training started 1 week after the baseline testing and consisted of 2 sessions per week of either groups performed over a period of 8 consecutive weeks. Both training programs were structured according to a gradual progress plan designed to maximize final performance. The HIIT program consisted of 12 to 16-minute intermittent running of 15 seconds activity over 40 minutes, shuttles interspersed by 15 seconds of passive walking recovery. An example of the intermittent runs pattern is presented in the figure. Exercise intensity was set at 90 to 95% of the maximal aerobic shuttle run field test final speed, which was shown to induce an intensity that corresponds to 120% of VO2 max. The small-sided games were organized in 3 A-side teams excluding goalkeepers on a playing court delimited wherein the players had to score in 2 mini-goals. Some playing rules were created to avoid game breaks, thus ensuring continuity of the games and consequently keeping high exercise intensity. The HIITs and SSGs were matched for activity and recovery time at each training session. Sprint tests. Sprint ability was evaluated by a 10 and 20 meters standing start all-out run with a 2-minute rest period between runs. Agility test. Agility was assessed biased. This test included forward-backward running and diagonal sliding movements that resemble specific handball movements. The setup test is illustrated in Techi figure. Upper body maximal strength test. Maximal strength of the upper extremity was assessed using 1 repetition concentric maximal bench press. The test was performed using a squatting apparatus in which the barbell was attached to both ends, with linear bearings on 2 vertical bars allowing only vertical movement. On the second day the participants performed the following 2 tests. Vertical jump tests. Lower limb explosive power was assessed by a counter-movement jump in two forms, with free arm swing and with hands on the hips. Participants began each jump in an erect standing position and moved into a semi-squat position before jumping as high as possible. The athletes performed 3 trials for each jumping form with passive recovery of 60 seconds between jumps, and the best result was recorded. Yo-Yo Intermittent Recovery Test Level 1. The test was used to assess players' aerobic capacity. The test consisted of 20 minutes shuttle runs performed at increasing velocities, with 10 seconds of active recovery between runs until exhaustion. Heart rate responses were monitored during all the test and small-sided games training sessions to provide the mean heart rate percentage and the percentage of heart rate max reached during training sessions. Results. Baseline and the effect of training on anthropometric and fitness characteristics of the study subjects are summarized in the table and in the figure. There were no significant baseline anthropometric or fitness differences between the groups. There was a significant improvement in the fat percentage in the test following training in both groups. No differences in aerobic capacity were found when comparing the effect of the two training methods. No significant within or between group differences were found in body weight following training. The percentage heart rate mean during the training sessions in the small-sided games training group ranged between heart rate max, which was not significantly different than the corresponding HIIT group values. The percentage heart rate max reached during the small-sided games was 94.3, similar to that recorded by HIIT group.